Do y'all think it's fair in corporate, or have y'all ever heard of in corporate the people that working like not letting people that work with them follow them on socials,
Yes.
like Instagram?
Yes.
Why is that? So there is a way that your job could be jeopardized by things that you do outside of work that you may showcase on your socials. So I didn't invent that.
No.
Okay.
What's good, YouTube? It's your boy Elevation here with another episode of the JBP Elevated, where we speak on the Joe Budden podcast and all of his co-hosts on and off the pod.
Dang, man. The situation is turning out worse than I ever imagined. It's one thing when you're Joe and something happens. The saying that Flip was saying a couple of episodes back, I bet on myself. You got things shaking for yourself. You have your own business, your own investments. You got your residual income coming. You don't really have to worry about too many outside forces messing up what it is that you got going on. I'm not saying there aren't going to be consequences for your actions. It's just you can maneuver differently when you have the means to take care of any situation. When you have to rely on somebody else and you want to act belligerent or act unruly or do things that aren't in line with the corporation that you work for, you are going to be the only one that receives fallout. The fallout for the company is just backlash. People may boycott, but if the company is big enough, it'll withstand any negative criticism for months if it has to, and then they'll be able to bounce back. But when you rely on a business and they're done with you, that's it. It's just over. It doesn't matter what you did for the company. It doesn't matter how much blood, sweat, and tears you've poured in, how many years of your life. It does not matter in the end. When they're done, they're done. Look, we could be friends outside of this. I'm still going to pick you up and we can still go to Starlets and all the other nightlife clubs that we've delved in. But as far as you being here, it's not sustainable for my business at the moment. And because we're friends, you may have an opportunity to come back. Flip, you were betting on yourself, and that stuck with me because I know you were talking to me when you said that. It's probably like a month or so ago. I don't know if I believe that yet. I've got to see it. I've got to see you sustain on your own, because every business venture that you have seemingly tried outside of the JBP is nowhere near alignment with the JBP. You are the one that says you don't want to be associated with the skits. The skits, in my head, what you really mean to say are the antics that are associated with the skits. But you continue to do them even in long form. I'm not mad at you trying to figure out a new way and a new venture. But when you're in the experimental phase, say it as such. Move as such. Because now, you keep saying Imani's your man, you are going to have to prove it. Even if this is just a suspension. Even if this is just a suspension. Y'all are close enough to know what his real financial situation is. His real legal situation is. You are close enough to him to get him off of the JBP, which I had alluded to. You took him from Joe and used him for your own venture, and he got fired from that. Joe's trying to show you, and your value is clearly more immense than Imani's because you have done way dumber-ish than that without putting your hands on people, and you're still here. Clearly, y'all business minds aren't in alignment. The fallout from this isn't just Imani leaving. Joe's energy was off this whole Patreon. Flip wanted to have this conversation so bad. He wanted to shoot Imani bail so bad. He wanted to tell Joe that he wasn't in the wrong so bad. and Joe wouldn't give him the time of day. The reason I'm saying the situation or the fallout is worse than I anticipated is because Joe won't even speak Imani's name. He won't say Imani, he won't say Imani, he won't say he won't say that's my man, none of it. He keeps telling us that he loves him. We know that, Joe. But the somber tone in his voice is letting me know it's more serious, and he's letting us know. And the fact that he's not letting us know lets me know how serious it really is. The other narrative that I put out was that this was going to control the airwaves. You don't want one of your employees punching somebody to be the main focal point of any conversation pertaining to the JBP. I'm not shedding light to this situation at all. It's not worth my time. It's not worth anything, any of my energy, none of that. This shit will come and go. Matter of fact, it's already gone in my head. I'm not paying attention to it. Flip's the one that wants to bring it up. I said what I needed to say. That's the end of it. You can't speak on your broadcast on my show either. It did what you needed it to do, right, dog? All right, cool. Bet. We done. We done. And unfortunately, I don't think Flip is going to learn his lesson because he hasn't gotten fired and there's no real consequences from his actions. So I anticipate Flip doing another show with Melissa Ford. I anticipate Flip still trying to get Ice and Ish to come on his podcast. And speaking of Ice, salute to Ice. You could tell Ice has worked for a corporate entity before. He moves like you're supposed to move in corporations. I'm not doing anything with y'all outside of company time. I know how I am on the pod and off the pod aren't the same people. So let's just keep it that way. I'll do interviews, I'll go on other podcasts, but as far as doing anything to help you grow your brand while I work for Joe, that is a no-no. And Joe keeps trying to move like a corporation, which he is. JBN is big enough to be a corporate entity, but he doesn't operate like someone that has a board seat. He doesn't operate like a CEO. You can't get mad at the co-host for moving like they're your friends when you treat them that way. But Joe is actually really good at keeping business and personal lives as far as how they operate on and off the pod. And he's trying to show them that, but they don't realize it. And it's hard. This is why you're not supposed to mix friends and family with business, supposedly, because nobody knows or nobody wants to respect the power role when it's somebody that they know and love and grew up with, especially if in their eyes they were ahead of that person at one point in time. So this is something that happens in life. This isn't an Imani, Joe, and Flip thing. This is something that happens to a lot of people. And unfortunately, people don't see signs until afterwards. Hindsight is 20/20 for most people, but you have to see things developing in real time. I'm not a super fan of the JBP and all the antics and everything that's happening. I'm just paying attention and observing the movements of people, how they respond to things. So you're able to kind of anticipate what's going to happen, even when you can't see it at the time. You have to be able to operate like that. And then unfortunately, because Danny alluded to this, but he didn't really break down. He's talking about Imani doesn't have the mental for that. That's what he means. You have to be able to foresee bullshit. And unfortunately, Imani nor Flip, for whatever reason, could see what was going to happen, even though everyone else on the pod did. I don't know. This might be a time where Joe actually puts his foot down on something. I don't see Flip making it past 2025 on the JBP. And the tell-off from both sides is going to be... But I appreciate y'all, man. I appreciate y'all for tuning in. We're going to get these daily drops going again. Y'all make sure y'all leave y'all comments in the comment section. Let's get engaged, man. Let's get some conversations going. I'll see y'all tomorrow. Y'all be safe. Peace.